Live here at Artist to Art, a photographer's portrait. And here we are. There we go. Going on live here with Oleg. So thank you all for joining. Let's breathe in this beautiful day that we have here together. We're alive together here at Artist to Art. I'm Aaron Jack. You can find me at I'm right now at Aaron Jack and Photography, Aaron Jack Line Art, also doing lives on Freedom Tapestry Project. So check all those out with all of the awesome people that we have on here. So we're going to get Oleg on here in a second. You know, this is as it goes. So thank you all for joining. Thank you Montana, thank you Aeneas, thank you DJ Just Look, as I think you like to be called, George. We've got Fior. I think that's how you say your name. I don't know, but we are going to get Oleg on here. So he's an amazing photographer who's in Lithuania. So, and I'm in the US. I'm in Pittsburgh, PA. So we're all connecting across the world, and that's the beautiful way that this world works out. All connected together, all beautiful, all breathing together. Hey!
Hey, how are you?
Good, how about you?
I'm good, I'm great actually.
Nice. I hear it's the evening time there.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock actually,
Wow.
9 p.m. And my dog waiting. I must walk him a little bit later.
Do it like at 1 hour.
Yeah, of course. He can
Yeah.
wait.
1 hour.
He
Then
can
then then your dog. What's your dog's name?
Kai. Kai.
Kai.
Kai.
Kai.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
it's
And
really
you
nice.
and so you've been in Lithuania a while.
Actually, yes. I was in Lithuania almost a year. Originally, I'm from Russia, from St. Petersburg. That's why I have such a strange accent and not perfect English. I'm very sorry, guys. If you don't understand something from my talk, just ask me. I can try to repeat it.
It's you have really good English. I don't know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm
So
in
yeah, so you've
Lithuania
been in
right now.
Lithuania for a year.
Yeah, almost for a year. Yeah, of course, I'm traveling a lot. I'm going to Russia back and forth and making some projects. But I decided to base here during the coronavirus quarantine period, and it was actually pretty good decision. It's a pretty calm country. It's not such a big, I don't know, virus spread here. That's why I think we are lucky in some way, of course. And now we can travel through the Europe in some countries, not all of the countries. My trip to Iceland was just canceled because they applied the new rules that you must stay in quarantine 5 days and then make two different tests. And if you're going for assignment for 8 days and staying in quarantine in Iceland for 5 days in some hotel, I think it's not so reasonable.
Is something crackling on your end? I'm hearing like some movement or something.
No, probably it's because of my headphones. I
Oh,
can take it off.
okay. Yeah, maybe try.
Yeah, okay, we can try.
Yeah, we'll try. Oh yeah.
Okay, now,
Oh, perfect.
oh, okay, we're gonna work without headphones.
Yeah, yeah. That less crackling going on. So thank you so much for joining. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback loop. I don't
Sorry?
know why. Like feedback loop?
I don't hear it all.
You don't hear it? Let's try with the headphones again.
Okay, just a second.
Yeah,
Magic
you know, we're
headphones.
trying this. We're in this together. This is a beautiful
Okay.
thing about being alive. Yeah?
Okay. And now, how you
Yeah,
hear me
good.
now? Good?
Perfect.
Okay. We can try
Yeah.
it again.
Nice. So so Lithuania, how did you end up deciding to to move to Lithuania?
I decided to that. The first of all, of course, I have job here, and the office where I work with is this is a non-for-profit organization. Invited me like an expert in photojournalism and journalism. I'm providing lectures, teaching students, and they just invited me to stay to live here for some period of time. And it's a small country. Probably people even don't know what it is and where it is. But it's a small country on the side of Europe. Uh, Pretty nice, absolutely beautiful. Old city, just amazing. It's like from the novels about the knights and Templiers, something like that. And every day, every morning, I'm going to these old streets to my office, and I think it's very nice. But like I
That's
said, I used to work in Russia for many, many years. I was born in Russia. Originally, I'm from St. Petersburg, and I used to work in Russia and ex-Soviet countries a lot, like photojournalist. And I was in war zones in four different revolutions in ex-Soviet countries. Um, in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. I worked in Afghanistan and Pakistan. I think I collect all stans actually. It's it looks like, except probably Turkmenistan. I was in Turkmenistan, but I never worked there.
well, I think you have a question here that I can't read from Bule.
Yeah, they asked me, Bulaev Ivan, hello, repeat please for where you are right now. I'm in Vilnius right now.
Perfect. Yeah, I can't I don't I have limited reading capabilities. So, thank you.
Don't worry, I can help you.
Perfect. We're working together here. This is a team
Okay.
effort. You, me, and all the people down there in the comments. You're here together. You're with us. So ask
Great.
away, and we're all in this together. That's what I like to do.
Of course, of course. Great.
Yeah. So cool. So what were you? You were a photojournalist in all of these stands, or what?
I start like a journalist, the first. Then I remember that I know how photography, what it is, and how it's worked. I decided to take a part in photojournalism, and actually, it was so exciting, and it was just so great that I loved it so much that I decided I can be a photojournalist. I can try, and I can actually, especially, I can read, I can write my own texts and make my own pictures. But usually we worked with in a team with journalists and photojournalists. But because I used to work in different ex-Soviet countries, usually I stayed 1 year, 1.5 year in different countries and did different jobs. I was, I witnessed it. I was witness of many different interesting stuff, like revolution in Kyrgyzstan. Actually, I saw all of the revolution, all of the revolution what they had, and one day we had workshop with Sally Stapleton. Sally Stapleton, it's a two-time winner of Pulitzer Prize. She was a head of the AP photo department, and she provided a master class there for Kyrgyzstan journalists. And during this master class, we witnessed a revolution it was interesting time because, of course, we stopped our master class, and of course, we was on the streets. We was among protesters, not among protesters. We was with near protesters and tried to fix on our cameras everything. And when we came back to our hotel, for example, people with rifles and guns run around and they shoot. I hope not somebody, but it was, for example, it was interesting time. And Uzbekistan, for example, this is a great massacre which ex-dictator, I don't know, I'm sorry for my English,
No,
organized
no.
and has provided for people.
So
Yeah.
so you're in so let's just walk back here for everybody who just joined us. You're in Lithuania now. When you were doing this photojournalist work, you were in where?
I based in Kazakhstan
You were based in
and
Kazakhstan, and then there was a revolution happening, and
yeah,
that's how, and that's everybody's running around with rifles. Okay, you're in your
not
hotel
in
room.
Kazakhstan. We just took car, moved to Kyrgyzstan because it's
Mm-hmm.
next country, and we stayed there. Well, it's just one example actually. And yeah, like that. We moved around all stands which
Mm-hmm.
around, which was in Central Asia. And during 2010, it was a lot of happening stuff there. In journalist way, it was interesting, but of
Mm-hmm.
course it was dramatic, pretty dramatic. But what I'm doing right now, it's nothing to do with photojournalism because, guys, I must say, um, after years in Russia, in Central Asia, in Afghanistan, Pakistan, uh, in Ukraine, in Belarus, uh, you know, in some point, I realized that I was so emotionally tired because everything what you're working with, it's a very emotional stuff. It's a dramatic stuff. You're making pictures about people who is in fear, in pain, uh, people who's crying. In Russia, you always making stuff about this, about people who is in pain. It's like we tried to make a few articles about with I don't know title good news. Uh, it was pretty complicated. It was difficult. It's much easier to find a idea issue for your article and piece about some struggles, about problems, than find something not just good, but you know, truly good. Because of course you can find somebody who say, "Oh, it's beautiful, and my life is beautiful, my cow is beautiful." But when you start digging, you realize that it's actually not always the truth, and it was a problem. That's why, after many years of working for journalists, I just realized that I'm emotionally tired. Not physically, but emotionally, it's so difficult. It's so difficult. And I decided to do, I don't know, photo art, street art. Um, and I tried to find a new way to express myself. I sit and think what actually I want to do, like a photographer, like part of photojournalists, and I decided that colors, lights, old style photography is actually what I can try. Why not? We always like photographers. I think we must change our way to see and our style in photography. I don't believe this in Instagram theory that you always must be the same with same presets. Your pictures must be a brown or a green or a yellow toning. I don't believe in that. And I think that the photographer must change his style or try to find his new way all the time.
So you decided to go in this new direction, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah, I decided to go to a new direction. I decided to to do something with art of vision. Because for photographers, I think the vision it's a main problem. You know, it's interesting. I was in many workshops. I provided many workshops, and very often I hear from people how they saying, um, "Look to another photographer's work. Try to copy them, and then you can find your way. You can find your vision." I think it's a myth. I think it's not real because I think you must start looking your own way and looking to your own vision from very beginning. Of course, we can copy, and I'm copying probably somebody's, and I teach people about photography, students about photography, and I learn a lot about photography. But now, if somebody told me that 10 years ago, probably I would be pretty successful photographer. I think we must start to look our way right now and trying to make, not to make, trying to find our vision from very beginning, doing something differently. If actually one photographer, and yeah, no, it's not Russian photographer. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but he said, if you saw something which somebody already did, never do that. And actually, I think it's up. I thought, oh, what a stupid idea. Of course, we want to make pictures like Cartier-Bresson, like Pinchasov, like Maximishin. It's a Russian, very famous Russian documentary photographer. But now I understand that his was actually absolutely right, absolutely correct. We start looking our way from very beginning. Of course, we're gonna make a lot of mistakes. We're gonna create a lot of stuff which will go to the trash, but probably 0.01% will be good. You can find something.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, look,
thank you.
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, trying to find that 0.1%, whatever that is, that rises up from that chaos sounds, or from whatever that's been created. How do you go through and edit your work? Because that sounds like a part of your process. And then we'll go back and go and look at some of your work.
Um, actually, on a when I in some period of my study photography, I thought that the editing of the work, it's a absolutely big part of it. We should know Photoshop, we should know some different programs. But now, actually, my editing process is pretty easy. It's took me like 30 seconds on every pictures. I never do something complicated, special. I'm not working with Photoshop at all. And actually, it was a very good example. Um, Giada de Ripa. Yes, Giada de Ripa. It's a famous Italian photographer I worked with her in Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. When she came, it was actually pretty long time ago, like probably 7 years ago. She used to work for Vogue, she used to work for Cosmopolitan, she used to work for many different magazines, and she's still absolutely amazing and great and famous. She came to Kyrgyzstan. No, no. she came to Tajikistan with us because in Tajikistan, the president, I don't know, he's probably never died. He's still a president. Uh, built, start to build the new palace for himself. In downtown, it's a huge Chinese style building, and she was an assignment. She decided to come to Tajikistan and make a picture of this construction stuff. And when we, every evening when we was in hotel, she edited her pictures. And I perfectly remember that she edited her pictures with just 2 steps. She changed the exposure a little bit, and she changed just a little bit contrast levels, and that's all. I remember I asked why you're not using Photoshop and stuff, and she said me that would be not ethical because I don't want to change reality, and I'm changing these sliders only because I made some mistake in exposure when I made pictures. During that time, I actually thought that it was not important. But now, not just now, a few years ago, I understood that how right she was. And I'm using Lightroom, and probably that's all. And I'm editing all my pictures on iPad. I'm almost not using computer, not using Photoshop. Um, um, I see the question in Russian. I can try to translate. You're not using too much time for editing, but how much time you using for make what it's make fixing your camera like different и как часто мне I don't do this a lot. I never thought about it. I'm using aperture for pictures and exposure. Yeah, settings. Thank you, Ivan. Yes, settings. I'm making pictures on the aperture and exposing stuff. That's all. Sometimes I make pictures with automatic settings. Not very often, but usually I use an exposure stuff because I need a good depth of field. That's why I'm using 5.6, 8, sometimes 11 on my aperture, and I'm just using exposure slider to make settings more clear. Yeah, and I have because I think this question somebody gonna raise. I'm using Leica Q fix lens 28.
You
That's
just
actually
use 28 lens on what camera do you use? What are you?
Leica Q.
Leica.
Leica Q 28. I have very old Canon Mark III. Canon Mark III. Wait.
Yeah.
It's a. Sorry, it's a. Yeah. I'm using Mark III. It's a very old. It's 10 years old stuff, and I have only one lens, 50 millimeters, but I think 50 millimeters is only for portrait, and for some art stuff, it's not very convenient for photojournalism. But Leica Q, it's very good for photojournalism. You can, and lens actually is pretty good.
Let's check out some of your work here.
Okay, let's see. But last of my work, which I sent here, it's okay. I can tell you about some of my work here. It's not about This stuff is from photojournalism. Yeah, it was a project about the COVID-19 in Lithuania. When everything started, the whole country was in quarantine, and city, which was filled with tourists, actually was empty, like real empty. You can go to the streets during the, I don't know, lunchtime, and nobody was there. Some churches was open, and during this period of time, I decided that I have good chance to make a project how this country, how this city lived during the quarantine. This picture from one of these church actually. And this light, it's not Photoshop. No, it's because the door wasn't closed tight, and it was a little bit open, and the light from the street comes through this door. And just a few prayers was in the church, and when they left, I stayed near the wall. I was a wall actually. It's not just near. I tried to be a wall, and this picture made by with Leica Q 28 millimeters. Yeah, and I sent these pictures and a few another pictures in a different competitions. Competitions, yeah. Exactly.
What? Sorry, we got broken up for the
Sorry, you
internet
lost
for a
me.
second. I don't know. Anyhow,
When I
what were you saying?
mm.
You sent it off for some things.
When you lost me?
I think you were just saying that you sent it off. You sent the photos off.
Yeah, I sent it up these pictures to the few competitions, and these pictures won something. I don't remember. It's a MIFO or lens culture. I don't remember.
You'll have to get back to me. I just talked. Oh yeah. There's some awesome people as part of this curation that have won some amazing awards. So you are included.
Thank you.
So basically for everybody else out there, I'm Aaron Jack, and I'm curating a project for Showfields right now in New York City. They're opening a store in Miami, so that's 5 p.m. Tuesday, August 25th, 2020, and Oleg is part of this curation. So
Be
we're checking
there.
out Oleg's work.
Be there. It's
Be
such a
there.
yeah. Be there.
Be there.
We may need you.
Showfields.
Of course.
Be there, Showfields. Check out the other photographers. I've a bunch of other photographers interviews, and there will be even more. There's, I think, 15, 16 photographers all together, and Oleg is a beautiful part of this curation. So that's why we're here today.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one, we're missing the people playing soccer at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's
We miss it,
Instagram. Instagram
unfortunately.
is like,
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's actually a pretty good picture. It's from my small project about how children survive this quarantine stuff. And I don't know, unfortunately, you don't see, but it's a nice picture when the mother and her child playing a football on the empty car parking slot, because usually this slot, it's a big slot behind the old church near my house, where it's usually it's packed with the cars. But during coronavirus, it was absolutely empty, and mother and her child playing a football in this empty slot. It was a part of my project about how child and how children survived through this quarantine period. It was almost 2 months probably. Uh, and it's just one picture from this series. Yeah. And actually it was interesting stuff because I just finished walking around, made a lot of pictures. I I was on my way home, and it was two big bags with food in both of my hands, and, and it just was like 20 meters from my home. And when I saw it, I dropped my bags. I think I broke a bottle of wine then. Uh, yeah, definitely. Touch. That's exactly. Maybe not one. And I dropped my bags and I made this picture. This picture also won in competition. Probably it's a MIFA, Moscow International Photo or something. I don't remember. I must check because during this pandemic period and because all deadlines on all photo competition was I don't know continued, like deadlines is moved. I had chance to send many different pictures on different competitions, and I think I won
Wow.
4 of them
How do
during
you
this year.
find how do you find all of these competitions that you're applying for?
Hmm, it's actually a pretty good question. I'm not interested in it anymore. Uh, at all. You know, when you won your first competitions, yeah, it's great. It's champagne, friends congratulate you. When you writing in your Facebook about second, it's much less like. When you're writing about your fourth, yeah, congrats. Again, okay, great. And actually, you in some in some way you just understand that you can make a good picture, you can make a good stories, and it's pretty enough. Of course, I know that it's a two we have 2 competitions among photographers which actually like a dream, like an Oscar. It's world press photo, of course, and it's Lake Bernard Award. uh I never get it yet, and probably it's gonna be only 2 competitions where I will apply. But another ones, there's so many of them. Um, for me, it's not because I'm so arrogant or something. You just realize that uh, some of your work is good. You can do that. Probably you must think about bigger something bigger. You must think about bigger projects, more complicated projects, because World Press and Later Bernard Awards is actually about the big, deep, complicated stuff. I'm not ready for that yet. Definitely, I must think probably in the future.
Wow.
Ah, of course. I must tell you.
Yeah,
Actually,
tell them.
no. It's a one competition which I was very proud, very proud. One of my pictures right now exhibited in New York in ICP, International Center for
Mm.
Photography, which was founded by Kappa. It was the competition about the coronavirus and how people around the world, wait, okay, how people around the world, and one of my pictures was chosen in this competition, and now it's a big exhibition in New York, in ICP, hall. Of course, it's a many, many, many different photographers, amazing stuff. It's like the encyclopedia about um, how world lived during this COVID-19 quarantine in different countries. I think it's near 100, maybe 200, maybe 500 photographers. But I'm very proud that my pictures always was chosen to be exhibited in this exhibition. Ah, this is I'm proud of.
That's awesome. That's so
Thank
cool.
you.
Again, we're
But
gonna we're gonna
but
skip
ever
through some of these that you can't
yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah. But everything it was about photojournalism. Like it's a bad habit, difficult to drop. But what you see, it's all about color. It's all about light. It's all about the city, the pattern of the cities. Because I decided to fix my work on this stuff. Uh, I'm reacting. right now I'm trying to find the color of things. I'm trying to find my new way, new style, new something. Um, and I think I'm gonna do it for some period of time because we must change our style time to time. Yeah, it's in Greece, just a few weeks ago.
Where was this?
It's a Mykonos. Mykonos. You know, the Greece opened the borders for European Union citizens, and we just decided to go there because, you know, Windows here is open and close. And it was great time actually, guys. If you can go to the Greece right now, just do it. It's no tourists. It's a low price hotels, amazing hotels, low price. Food still expensive, but you can go to the famous beach like a paradise something beach without reservation or umbrella. You know, because you can go just to the beach and take your umbrella and be on the beach. It's a pretty small, actually. Beach is amazing, great. But before quarantine, they was packed with tourists without reservation 2 times before. It just impossible to lay there even in the sand. Right now, it's not so many tourists. It's not so expensive. And it's amazing time.
Wow.
Life hack. Take it. Yeah. This picture is actually interesting. It was a project about myopia. Myopia, it's, I decided I thought how people with bad eyes would be with bad sign, who have a problem with the eyes, how they see city, how they see what around them. And I decided to make pictures like I'm the guy who don't have a good side. And this is me a peer project about Vilnius. Actually, it was all about that. I trying to see and I'm trying to show how people who have a problem with the sight see the world. Yeah, it's just a one wall street during the quarantine. It's the same from this project. Um, this is my documentary photojournalism stuff, but I'm fascinated about the old photography. It's Hirsch, it's Alex Webb, it's Gruyere, it's of course later, it's a lot of Haas, of course. How they how they saw the world, and I decided to work in an old style photography. Um, I made few settings on my Leica. Leica is pretty powerful instrument, and of course it's a little bit more editing actually, but still in Lightroom without any, I don't know, layers and lots of editing. But I this picture is from the project Old Life. Yeah, the same project. We don't see the
We don't see the
the full
subject.
pic. Yeah. This is my favorite picture actually. I don't know, people, it's interesting, but this is my favorite picture. It was made in Daville, in France. I think 2 months ago, maybe months and a half. This is a bath. This is a bath in a horse in La Manche. It was a very hot day, like extremely hot. And people, horses, adults, and children's try to refresh them in the water of La Manche. And I think it's my best picture. I think I must be print. I'm gonna print this picture and put it in my living room. But it's
That's
still from
beautiful.
the project Old Life.
Wow. That must be pretty high, must be pretty difficult for a photo to get printed and be on your living room wall.
We can try.
Right? Do we miss the
Unfortunately we don't see the whole pictures. Is also my the previous picture is also my favorite. You know, if you want to see it, all of them, mm, some of them actually in
some
my
of them?
Instagram account you can see it. Yeah, some of them. Yeah, it's a still
So
old life. This is old life. Yeah, some of them you can find in my Instagram account. Actually, you know, it's interesting. Um, in my folder, for example, July, uh, it's almost 375 picture which was selected from the thousands and thousand picture which was made. I published in Instagram because it's a main platform for me, like 25 pictures and 250 pictures still in the library, still in the folders. Never was published, probably never will. Interesting question for any photographers. What you gonna do with that?
It's always a question, right? Like, take so
Yeah,
many pictures and only a few get out there and see the light of day.
yeah, exactly. It's just a few days ago. It's just a few days ago. People, yeah, you know, it's a. I'm sorry, Instagram is not showing you
Yeah,
the
Instagram has
full
a.
picture. Yeah, it's a very difficult to see what's happening here, but it's a just hot summer day in Lithuania, in middle of nowhere. It's a small city. They have a beach. City is just it's so small. I think it's a village even. Uh, but boys jumping there, running there, it's pretty easy picture, you know. If boys jumping, you always can make a good picture. But you just need to wait. But it's still from the last. It's Vilnius. I like, you know, with pictures actually in one way people don't like it, but I understand. Not everybody can understand the picture, but in my, I think this picture is actually pretty good because you know we have a photographer Pinkhasov. He's a Magnum member. He's absolutely amazing photographer. If you never saw his work, I recommend you to go to the Magnum website and check Pinkhasov. Uh, he always telling you to look on the picture by your eyes, not by your brain. Because brain always trying to find something which you can recognize. But when you look in the pictures with your eyes, you can see patterns, you can see lines, you can see something which you can see something unusual. This is not the perfect picture, of course. It's not even close to stay with Pinchasov work, but I like because if you turn off your brain, you can see these lines, you can see these patterns, you can see these light points and stuff. Um, it's yeah, old style series. Of course, unfortunately, we don't see the lower
Oh, we don't see
lower
the.
part of the picture. Yeah,
That's.
because the lower part is making the picture. Yeah, this is a work with colors in France. Yeah, it's red everything. It was this picture was very well received in Instagram. Actually, I was surprised because I didn't like it. It was in my library for months, and I decided, okay, I didn't have anything. I don't have time to think. I just put it on Instagram, and Instagram it was pretty successful.
Wow. It,
Yeah, it's also myopia. how people with problem. Yeah, this is just movements. This is also myopia. This is colors and patterns. It's from series of colors and light. Old, 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 old life. Also old life. This picture was made in Greece, in small church. I think in Mykonos, probably maybe in Santorini. It was a very small church.
Yeah. What else? How did you end up? Were you inside the church, looking outwards? Like, what was going on inside of your head here?
It was open. It was open and it was amazing light. And I love churches. From architecture point of view. It's always interesting to see how it was built, and I trying to visit not all of the church, of course, in the cities and countries where I am, but if I see, I'm trying to come in.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
open. I just came in and I saw that the man sitting behind the glass, and light was good. Colors, Vilnius, very popular drinking street. Right near my house, they so loud.
That you taking a drink outside your house and you like noticed it? Like, what was the story behind?
Actually, no. It's just not so far from my house, maybe 100 meters, 200 meters. It's behind the corner. And I came probably from the work or from some meeting. And because I have my camera always with me, like always, I even go into the lunch with my camera. And because it's not so big, and if I see something, saw something, do something, yeah. I just saw it and I just make a picture. Nothing special.
It's the moment of life, it seems.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
bring
The
it
same.
along with you. Never.
Yeah, this picture was made when I was in a crisis. And I thought, what am I gonna do next? My picture sucks. I must think something. And it was during the lunchtime. I just sit on some porch, waited when something came to my head, and asked my question, why you doing that? You must sell your camera. And they said, why not? We should try. Okay, let's try. We tried. This picture was born.
Wow. It's such like it feels like such like an existential kind of conversation between you and your camera there.
Exactly, and she's so powerful. She made me happy, actually. She told me, do it, don't sit. Why you sitting? You must work. You have just 20 minutes on your lunch. Do it. Never come to the office without a picture. Sometimes I hear it in my head.
Does she have a name?
No, it's just a Leica. No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not so silly. I'm not so silly yet. I'm not so crazy yet.
I understand. I understand both sides of the equation.
It's a France. It's just old life in France. I tried different settings on my camera, and this lens in Leica Q, it's actually pretty powerful. If you know how use settings, you can make these smooth pictures without the sharpness, which you can actually hurt yourself. That's interesting. Yeah, the same. Just walk from work to home. It's the same stuff actually where I made these yellow umbrella pictures. all with the same bar. The street is probably 70 meters long, maybe 100 meters long, but it's always crowded with the people until midnight. It's all there. You can always find some inspiration or good moment.
Wow. It reminded me of just like going back through some of my archives and just like go through some and find some cool images. I don't know.
Um, just a street picture. Just a street picture. It was rainy. I like rain, actually. When it's raining, I'm going to the street because you always find something in the rain street because people are running, people don't look at you, people don't care anything because we had a very heavy rains here. Even my camera, even my mark was broken because of the rain. I fixed it just a couple of weeks ago. Um, but rain is a perfect time to make a good pictures.
Yeah. Do you carry like any rain covering for your camera or anything like that? Or
No, I'm very responsible guy. I'm not using Leica Q during the rain because it's not waterproof. The second Leica Q, they told us that it's waterproof, but the first one, no, it can't work during the hard conditions like the snow or rain. But Mark III is actually pretty tough guy, and it was broken only because it's so old, and only because this small button was broken. It wasn't here. The guys in the fix in a fixing lab changed it, and the water came to the camera through this small button, and that's why it said, okay, enough. Go to hell. I'm not working anymore with you.
wow, wow.
Um, just the streets from the old Life series. Nothing special. It was a regular day. Usually, I'm trying to go to the city every evening and make some pictures. And because I'm making a lot of pictures of the city, usually you're repeating yourself, making the same stuff every day. And I'm trying not to do that. Actually, I'm not just trying, I'm hardly trying to not to do that. And I'm working. Sometimes I had just one picture, and that day it was just one picture. I think it's something nice. It's such a nice moment. Just a moment. Uh, I call this picture first date. Yeah, because I had feeling that they met first time when I made this picture, this girl and this boy. Was, it was like probably it was the first day. I thought, okay, but it's also from serious colors and lights.
Do you tend to like watch people before you take the photograph, or is it just kind of like you're walking by, or just depends?
It's walking by. It's always walking by. I never expect something, or I never prepare myself for something. I don't have any plans. It's always walking by, and I think I can say about myself that I have good reaction. I see stuff and reaction is pretty good. I'm just react. Sometimes I will not realize what picture I made, and only when during editing process I see something.
What is that editing process for you? Like, how do you cull through your photos and find the ones that speak to you?
Mm, hmm. You ask very difficult, complicated question. Very good question. You know, um, usually I editing pictures the same day. I download all these pictures to my iPad. I'm checking them, I selecting them, and I can't tell you that mm, it's just intuition. You know, I see picture, I like it. I'm working with it, but the next day I see the same picture. I think, no, I don't think so. The third day, it's always, oh, what a bad stuff. What a bad stuff. And you, for me, it's a very complicated process. Edit and not editing, but choosing, selecting pictures. I think I'm not good at it, actually. In my archives, it's thousands of different pictures which I never touched and which I never edited because in the first day I see I love it, I like it, it's great. But in the second day, uh, I don't see anything special in it. Still learning how select good work. And it's a very complicated question for me.
Yeah, especially because it seems like you have so many that you're going through from these momentary things that you have so many moments in a day. And do you like come back and so what's that process? You come home, you download your card on your computer, and then how do you transfer it to your iPad? Like, what's your process there?
Yeah, I just downloaded it to iPad through special adapter. Then I choose pictures based on 5 stars. If I like it, it's a 5 stars. If I don't like it, it's no stars. Then I deleted everything which don't have stars. And I start working with 5 star pictures. Um, I can work with them, edit them in the same day, but usually not all the time, of course. Some of them I start working on it during the next day and maybe a couple of days after. Um, and that's all. If I
Yeah.
like it, I editing and putting in a special folder which called for publishing, and the second folder it's for prints. If I see that this picture have potentiality for prints, be printed or sell, I can put it in the now folder prints. Because I'm publishing my pictures with a frame in Instagram because this crazy Instagram
So we have
always.
so we have about 3 minutes left. Or we have like one and
Mhm.
a half minutes left. So I just want to let you have like a last word, and then, well, first I want to say I'm Aaron Jack. Thank you all for joining. You can watch this afterwards if you're not following me. If if you're not following Oleg, just go follow us right up here. I'll have our information in the description. Oleg's part of a curation that I'm doing for Show Fields that's happening Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, August 25th. If you're watching this after, just enjoy. Any last inspirational words that you might have? Oh, and I'm at Aaron Jack Line Art, Aaron Jack and Dot Photography. Oleg, any last words? We have about a minute, a little less.
Yeah, I think I have something. Um, guys, if somebody telling you, especially in masterclass, it's often happen in masterclass. Usually photographers telling you, it's all about you. It's all about your inspiration. It's never mind what people say. Don't exhibitions, books. It just doesn't have any sense. Do it for yourself. Miracle is here. Open your heart. Guys, I don't think that it's not bullshit, but I don't believe in that. You must compete. The market for photographers is pretty narrow, and you must be the best. And you must do everything what can put you on the first place. When you're gonna be in that first place, you can say everybody else. Don't think miracle is here only for you. Nobody opinions. Don't take any opinions in your head. No, unfortunately, no. Reality is